Hi everyone, welcome to the National Signing Day. I'm your host Mark Beyer, and along with head coach of the Toledo Rockets, Jason Candle, we are coming to you today from the brand new Nancy and James Lapp Creative Studio on the campus of the University of Toledo. You know, 2023 was a remarkable season for the Midnight Blue and Gold, a phenomenal winning streak, a Mid-American Conference Championship appearance, and of course, another bowl game. Now it's time to officially introduce Rocket Nation to the next generation of future stars who will soon be wearing the Midnight Blue and Gold and running onto the field on game day at the Glass Bowl. Boy, the bar has been set high. The Rockets won 11 games in 2023, and no team in the Mid-American Conference has won more games in the last 8 years than your Toledo Rockets. Now this latest group of new Midnight Blue and Gold players arrive with an unprecedented pedigree as the highest-ranked recruiting class in the history of the Mid-American Conference. It won't be long before they will have the opportunity to make their mark for a program that's rich in history and tradition. Now joining me, ready to start his 9th season as the head coach for your Midnight Blue and Gold and 16th season as a part of the Toledo Rockets football program, is head coach Jason Candle. And Coach, I know we got a terrific recruiting class to talk about, but first, let's talk about this creative studio that we're sitting in here. It's pretty impressive.
Amazing opportunity to showcase our program in a different light. And, I think that one thing, the challenge of college athletics in today's world is to continue to raise the standard and things that are, and all things around the program. And then ultimately, obviously, you want to do it right on the field too. But this will be a game changer for us in a multitude of ways.
Well, let's talk about this recruiting class. And obviously, it's been getting high marks across the land as far as the players that are coming in next year. Just some of your thoughts and all the work that the assistant coaches have put into creating this situation where the Toledo Rockets have so much to be excited about.
Well, I think it starts in the work in the office of Brian Gasser and his team, putting together a great plan to go get guys evaluated and work from there to the assistant coaches and watch their hard work and effort on the road and pounding the pavement to go, not only to evaluate guys and get them on our campus, but then ultimately to get them to commit here and to get them to sign here. That's a long, extensive process that takes a lot of hard work and energy by a lot of guys.
Fair to say that this may be the best recruiting class, or do we have to wait 3 or 4 years to find out if indeed it is one of the best?
Well, I think that's rankings are rankings, and if you keep score, you usually want to win. So we're happy with that, but there's so much development that has to happen between now and the time that most of these guys will get on the field. But a talented group of guys that I think are first and foremost great human beings. I think guys that take their academics very serious. A ton of winners in this class. A lot of guys that played for state championships in their states, and a group of guys that many of them are here already. So a group that we're super excited about.
Coach, players that fit into the culture of the Toledo Rockets as well, correct?
That's becoming a big challenge in today's college athletics. So I think we as a staff did a really good job of identifying guys that would fit us and fit the culture of our team and really trying to streamline them into the culture of our locker room. And ultimately at the end of the day, I think your players are your best recruiters. So you could probably say that most of these guys picked the University of Toledo due to those reasons of the relationships they built with our current team.
All right, what do you say we take a look at the group, and we'll start off on the offensive side, and we'll hear from offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Robert Weiner.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. We had a real exciting year for the quarterbacks this year. Not only did we have the MAC Player of the Year, Jaquan Finn, had a tremendous season, and then finished the season as we got into the bowl game with Tucker Gleason able to take some snaps there and be able to play that final game in the bowl game. And that would lead us into what our room will be going forward. And so the QB room, after that great year that we had this past season, will now have some really, really, really quality players in there. And even more importantly, some quality people. With Tucker Gleason from Tampa, Florida, in that room, along with John Allen Richter, who's 1 year behind Tucker in terms of his time here. And John Allen is from Central Georgia there, from Jones County High School. And then R.J. Johnson, also from the great state of Georgia, in the room as well. And he's hailing from the Atlanta area in Westlake High School there. And then we have an awesome quarterback from up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Jake DeHaan, in our room. And so that'll make up the room of what we have right now, and that'll lead us forward into the next stages of what it is that we'll be doing in the 2024 season. Super excited to get the newcomer to our room, and Caleb Osborne from Waterford Mott High School up there in Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Comes from an amazing high school. They had a great year with a deep playoff run. You can see Caleb is not a small quarterback, a big guy who can throw it just like that and put it right where he needs to do, and also be able to run it as well, as you'll see here. Comes from an outstanding coach in Chris Farr at Waterford Mott. He's done a tremendous job and has actually become a really good friend, and also comes from a great family with his mom, Kalisha. Most definitely looking forward to the spring and new 2024 season coming up here. So we have a lot of great things ahead of us, and excited about our guys in the quarterback room. And so with that, I'm going to send it back to you, Mark and Jason. Go get it.
Well, Coach Caleb Osborne is coming into a real talented quarterback room, and obviously with Coach Weiner, he's in great hands.
Yeah, I think that the loss of DeQuan Finn, after the season, obviously we feel really strong about, this room moving forward. And I think Caleb is a great addition to that room. I think he's a young man that's played tremendous football through his course of his career up at Waterford Mott, and, really a guy that has been a rocket, ever since the day that he stepped on campus. So he's an early enrolled guy, and a guy that's, really flashed in his time here so far.
Well, the quarterbacks have to throw to receivers, and there's a brand new group coming to the campus of the University of Toledo. Let's hear about those from wide receivers coach R.J. Fleming.
Thanks, guys. Really excited about our wide receiver room moving forward in 2024. Coming off of 2023, we lost two seniors in Adam Beal and Devin Maddox. Both of those guys did a great job for us in the past, especially in the return game and on special teams. Devin Maddox suffered through some injuries and everything like that, but Rocket Nation, you guys are familiar with his name. We'll miss him moving forward. I would say some of the same things about Adam Beal, just as a returner, and he's a safe space for us in the wide receiver room as well, leading us in the slot position. Coming back for us in 2024, we'll have Jawan Newton, we'll have Junior Vanderross, we'll have Larry Stevens, we'll have Jaden Dotton, Tommy Zaros, Eric Holly. All of those names are familiar to Rocket Nation. All of those guys played significant snaps in 2023. Jawan Newton led the way in receptions, production, and touchdowns. He's a first-team all-conference guy that we're really, really excited about. And probably his most successful trait to our wide receiver room and to our program and to our team is his ability to lead. Junior Vanderross is our leading slot receiver that's returning. Made several huge plays in critical minutes last year. Really excited for his return. He's going to have to take on a more leadership-type role for us moving forward, for us to be as good as we can be and should be in our wide receiver room. And again, really excited about Larry Stevens and Jaden Dotton and Eric Holly, Tommy Zaros. One kid that I didn't mention earlier is J.D. Willoughby. He's one that's he's a freshman that played some games last year, but he's got his red shirt. He'll be with us moving forward, and probably will be in that role of competing for some of those minutes right there at our Z position. Really excited about the receivers that we're welcoming to our family. The newcomers, Tashi Bracewell, Zamarian Lane, Trey Richardson, Terrell Crosby, and Javon Brown. All of those guys will walk in and be immediate impact guys, we believe, and will compete for significant minutes for us moving forward in 2024. Absolutely love Tashi Bracewell. He's right here in our backyard from Detroit, went to Southfield A&T. He's a dominant receiver, dominates the catch point. He's got great ability to adjust to any thrown football. He's got a big catch radius. He's physical at the point of contact at the catch point. Even when he's covered, he can make contested plays consistently. And that's what I love most about his game. He's a great kid. He's got great leadership ability. I would imagine at some point before he graduates as a Rocket that he will be a captain for us. Javon Brown from Williston, Florida. Really excited about this kid. He's 6'4" and some change, around 180. He's got great vertical presence. He can run. He's got a big catch radius, makes plays after the catch. I think his upside is tremendous. He's going to be an unbelievable nightmare for us on the perimeter. I like him lining up at our X and Z wide receiver positions because of the matchup issues that he presents for a corner, especially in a one-on-one situation. I think he can separate, but when he doesn't separate, he's still got the ability to be able to make contested plays consistently. Zamorian Lane from Cardinal Mooney in Palmetto, Florida. Nuka's got a great catch radius. He can make plays after the catch. He's a very fluid mover. He's a great route runner. He's an elite level athlete, played DB in high school as well, was committed to South Carolina all year to go and play DB. And right there on signing day decided that he wanted to be a Rocket. So we're really, really excited about his skill set and how he's going to be able to come in and elevate the talent in our wide receiver room. He's a play caller's best friend. You can kick it to him, punt it to him, throw it to him, hand it off to him. There's nothing that he cannot do on a football field. So really excited about his contributions. I think this kid will be able to add immediate value to our wide receiver room. Trey Richardson from Hutchinson Junior College down in Kansas. Really electric, dynamic football player, especially with the ball in his hands. Does a phenomenal job as a kick returner and punt returner. He's able to run every route on the menu. Love him in a slot position where we can create, option routes and choice routes, things like that, where he can be able to get in a one-on-one situation and make a defender wrong and then make him wrong after the catch as well. He's the type of kid that we can sit around the table and design special ways to get the ball in his hands in space. Really excited about Trey Richardson. What a phenomenal group of wide receivers we have moving into 2024. From a returning group of veteran guys, seasoned guys who have done a phenomenal job of making plays in space, being able to stretch the field. But aside from their skill sets, we got great leadership, great presence in that room. Guys are selfless. They want to see the next one to them make plays and have success on the field. I think our guys understand that as an offense, in order for us to be as successful as we can be and need to be, that their piece of it is super critical every single play. And so I'm really excited to welcome our young guys to an already seasoned group of young men. You got Tashi Bracewell, you got Zamarian Lane, it goes by Nuka. We're really excited about Nuka. Trey Richardson, you got Terrell Crosby, Josh Jackson, and Javon Brown. All of those guys are a variety of skill sets that we're really excited about to pour into some of the returning skill sets that we have. Great leaders, great skill set, and a selfless group of young men. So Rocket Nation, you should be fired up about this group in 2024.
All right. Quite a group of wide receivers, Coach, that R.J. Fleming, the wide receivers coach, is going to have to work with.
Well, I think this is a talented group of guys that, obviously that standard in that room here for a long time has been set very high. And, we're going to have a couple guys after this year that'll move on and play their last season of football. So you want to try to stay ahead in development. I think RJ did a great job of recruiting a really solid group of young men that'll add value to that room almost immediately.
A real interesting variety, too. Some guys that are pretty tall and other guys that aren't quite so tall but have that quick twitch that you're looking for in that slot.
Well, I mean, they come in all different shapes and sizes. And, today's football's played a little bit differently than what it was 10 or 15 years ago. So it's very evident as you watch the NFL playoffs and see different guys of different stature. So all these guys are super talented, great human beings, and guys that I think will make an impact in our locker room.
All right. Not only are there wide receivers that catch the football, so do tight ends. Let's hear from tight ends coach Nate Cole.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Jason. Nate Cole here. Let's get right into it. I want to talk about what we have returning coming in the running back room, starting off with Jacquez Stewart, one of the most explosive players in the country. Was first team all-conference kickoff returner. He's lightning in the bottle. Lightning in the bottle. We have Willie Shaw, who shows some great promise and will be definitely a contributor this year. We have Connor Waldensack, the local kid from Perrysburg, who has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal on the special teams. And then we round that group off with Mike Drennan, transfer from University of Kentucky. Technically going with that group, ultra productive. Now let's get into the tight end room, what we have returning there, starting off with Anthony Torres, second team all-conference, big body guy, followed by CeCe Isram, who showed promise this year, playing some snaps in different personnels and also being involved in the special teams. And then we have Lenny Cool and Justin Stevens both coming back from being a little dinged up. Great thing about this position is sometimes they impact the game that you don't see. A lot of the stuff these guys do is stuff that will not be on the stat sheet. I like to kind of compare it to an alternator. If your alternator ain't working in your car, obviously your car ain't going, and that's how it goes in our offense. Right here we have Tyson Smith from Bloomington South. He's the number 26 ranked player in the state of Indiana and the 181th athlete ranked in the nation. Like I said, athlete, because this guy has played tight end, defensive end. He showed a plethora of skill sets that he has. whether it's running down the middle, catching the ball, running up the seam, or like you see right there, just pancaking the guy. Comes from a great family, Craig and Heidi, and also his dad did play a little ball in his heyday back at Indiana State. So can't wait to get our hands on this guy and see what he can do for the Rocket offense. Again, those are the two rooms. Great additions to both rooms, and just want to see these guys actually progress, grow, and have a great offseason. Tyson Smith is already here, getting acclimated, running around, lifting weights with the guys and whatnot. So again, this spring, this summer will be big for both groups, and just can't wait to see what the future holds. TOL, EDO, back to you, Mark. Back to you, Jason.
All right, Coach, what do you say about the group as far as tight ends are concerned? Because, boy, we got a good group already on campus.
Well, Lenny Coole's injury last year really hurt us in preseason camp, but the emergence of Anthony Torres, after Lenny went down was I wouldn't say a surprise, but it was great to see him really finish off the year in a strong way. And for him to come back, get Lenny back off the injury, and now we add Tyson Smith to the group. I mean, this continues to just strengthen a room that, in today's football has to do so many things, wear so many different hats. So really excited about Tyson.
Well, you have to protect the quarterback, and let's hear from co-offensive coordinator and offensive line coach, Mike Hallett.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here to introduce our signing class of the 2024 rotation. 2023 was recapped by I feel like a really good performance by the offensive line, achieving some high standards in terms of pass protection, run game efficiency. Guys did a great job. We're getting hit with graduation a little bit, but I'm really excited to see the next generation of guys move forward. Garrett Schwiebert, Ethan Spose, Stephen Gales, Carter Foudy, a list of guys that are really exciting guys and have been chomping at the bit to get their turn, and we're going to add some great players to really enhance our room and take another step forward here in 2024. Really excited to introduce this first prospect. This is Jake Grimm from Gahanna Lincoln High School. He's the son of Justin Grimm and Katie Boggs. He was an all-state performer for Gahanna. They had deep runs in the playoffs both his junior and senior year. He's an excellent effort and physical player in both the run game and pass protection. He's very athletic. He's going to arrive for us in June. We're very excited about Jake joining the Rockets here as we get started. Matt Hofer is our second introduction here. He's from Valparaiso High School in Indiana. He's the son of Herb and Tammy Hofer. He was an all-state player in Indiana, state champion as a junior, another great playoff run here his senior year. He's a strong physical run blocker with very good pass blocking ability. He's an early enrollee. He's been very good so far in the winter strength and conditioning program, blending in very well with our experienced veteran players. We're really excited about Matt and his upside as he's moving in here to Toledo. Jacob Kropchak is our third introduction. He's from Stony Creek High School. He's the son of Dan and Jan Kropchak. He was an all-state player in Michigan, a very good leader for his football team. He's versatile. I think he's a really good prospect at both guard and tackle. He's a dominant finisher in the run game, excellent change of direction and pass protection. We're excited to get him on campus in June and get his career started here at Toledo. Our fourth introduction is Maddox Marcotte. He's a Bishop Carroll High School graduate and is coming to us from Hutchinson Community College. He's the son of Brett Marcotte and Ginger Weatherby. One of three players enrolling from Hutchinson for us this year, along with a wide receiver and a linebacker. He's an excellent interior offensive lineman. He's been an excellent center at Hutch over his 2 years there. He enrolled in January. He's doing a great job in the winter strength and conditioning program. Really excited to get him on the field for spring ball. In addition to those guys, we're also very, very excited to add Jacob James from Ohio State, Elder High School graduate, and also Alan Jones, a Cass Tech graduate coming from Prairie View A&M. Both these guys have had great experiences. They're both graduate transfers. We're excited to see those guys get going, and both are enrolled here at Toledo. This spring session is going to be very exciting to see new players emerge, leadership develop, and the camaraderie that is a hallmark of the offensive line continue to grow. We're so excited about getting through the spring period, getting into summer, and attacking all the challenges that are going to lay in front of us in the 24 season.
All right, Coach, let's talk about the group of offensive linemen. One of the things I noticed looking at some of the video, there's some guys that got a mean streak in them.
Yeah, I mean, we lost some really good players on the offensive front this year, and you're not going to be in a situation, with plug and play with high school guys. So, we want to still continue development of that room, and I think there's some really good players on our team that are charging hard to state their claim that they deserve reps in preseason camp and throughout the summer here to see what their development looks like. But this young group of guys added into the mix, I think, is a great fit, and some of those guys are here early, and a group that I'm super fired up about.
All right, let's flip over to the defensive side and hear from defensive coordinator Vince Karras.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Coach Candle. It was a good year for us defensively. I thought we had a really good year at linebacker. Dallas Gant, again, was a first-team All-MAC pick for the second year in a row. He's a guy that's getting ready now to participate in an all-star game here, the East-West Shrine game this weekend. And we're excited about his opportunities ahead of him to play at the next level. It was great for us to get Dan Bolden back this year after 2 years of being out with injuries. And Dan's season got better as it went on. He's a guy that we're looking forward to getting one more year out of. We had great contributions from the linebacker room on special teams. Guys like Damon Olison and Chris Apollonia, Jackson Barrow, Drew Covington were all guys that played a lot of snaps for us in the kicking game and did a great job. So we're excited about what we have coming back. We were able to add a transfer here. Lance Dixon, who played at West Bloomfield High School up in Detroit, is joining us, and he's enrolled this semester. And we're excited about what he can bring to the room to help add some very quality depth. And we're excited that we signed 3 guys in the 24 class that'll be joining us here in the near future. Kavon Sherman is joining us from Hutchinson Junior College out in Kansas. He's originally from Houston. We're going to add Ibrahim Kamara from Akron East High School and Trey Gaston out of Pensacola Catholic down in Florida. So 3 really good young guys that we're excited to bring in as well. So we're watching Ibrahim Kamara here from Akron East High School. Ibrahim's has great length. He's super athletic for a young guy. He's got a great pedigree. His older brother, Bengali, has been a starting linebacker at the University of Pittsburgh the last couple years. So we feel like he's a guy that can really develop and add good weight as he goes and grow into that frame that he has, but matches up the skill set of some guys we've had here like Deontay Johnson and Dallas Gant. We're looking at Kavon Sherman here at Hutchinson Junior College. Kavon's originally from Houston, Texas, has joined us this semester. You can see from these highlights that he's a big, strong linebacker. He runs very well. He's got the measurables that we're looking for to come in and add depth right away. Really excited about Kavon. Great young man with the skill set that we want to play either of the linebacker positions. We're taking a look at Trey Gaston now from Pensacola Catholic school down in Florida. You can see by the tape here that Trey is a physical player. He's got the body type and the length that we're looking for. He runs well. He's athletic. I think with some good development, he's a guy that's going to play at a really high level here for us for several years. "2023 was a good year for the Rockets. Obviously ripping off an 11-game win streak in there, and I think our team feels like we left a little bit on the table. So great excitement right now to get back into the off season and prepare for spring practice here. We have a lot of experience coming back. We've added some new additions, some new pieces that we're really excited about, and the goal on defense will continue to be working to be an elite unit here and really help the football team win as many games as we can. So really excited about that and moving into the new year, and excited to get going.
Coach Karras, of course, focuses on the linebackers, and that's a position that obviously the loss of a guy like Dallas Gant, for example, certainly need to replenish.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we've dealt with some injuries there the last couple of years. The downside of that is you lose a really good player for some time, but the upside is you get some depth developed with new guys stepping in and having their opportunity. But bringing in a couple of young guys here, I think is only going to add to the value of that room. And those 220 to 240 pound bodies are so critically important to have in the kicking game. So some good young ones here that are going to, add impact right away.
All right, let's go to the safeties and hear from co-defensive coordinator Ross Watson.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very excited to do this, to be with you guys today. Our room, the safety room, very interesting year for us. We graduate some guys that have been with us for quite a few years now. Zach Ford, Nate Bauer, some familiar faces that you'll see and have played some significant time. Maxon Hook will be coming back for his last year. Some younger fellas as well, Braden Alls, Nick Thompson, Andre Fuller's kind of in the weird world. He's not really young, but he seems young to me, but he'll be up there in the older guy world. And excited with these new guys that we're adding to the room. There'll be some great competition in the room. With the 3 spots between nickel and 2 safety spots, it'll be a great spring ball for us to see what these guys can do and what spots fit them the best, and a lot of good, healthy competition between them, both on the field and off the field. So excited to see what these young guys can do that are coming in, as well as the young guys that are already in our program. Okay, first up here is Mr. Bostic from Taft High School down in Cincinnati. As I'm doing this right now, I'm realizing that 2 of the 3 guys that we're going to go over already have brothers within our program. So, we've recruited this gentleman all along and does a lot of things on both sides of the football in high school. Played a lot of good snaps at receiver, as well as you can see the safety and nickel spots that he's playing. Great ball skills, fantastic with the football in the air, really good length. He's pretty good at basketball. I try not to tell him that, but pretty good job on the basketball court as well. Okay, next up is Landon Delich from over in Indiana. Great pro high school program. They've been very successful. They understand what it means to win. Just a strong tradition program over there. Just like Mr. Bostic, this fella here has played a lot on both sides of the football, wide receiver and safety, corner. Those are some characteristics that we look for. But a very physical player, does a great job closing space in the open field, making tackles, as you see here. Very excited for his future here with us in the Toledo football program. And again, from a great tradition and a great program in his high school. Okay, our final fella here is also another player joining us with a brother already in the program. This is Mr. Ezra Renze. He's a lot of these clips you'll see playing corner, great length to him, does a great job with those things. We're excited about his coverage ability, what he can provide in that room with the 3 different safety spots. A lot of those different characteristics are needed. And you could see those plays where he's tipping the ball at the line of scrimmage, does a great job, makes plays on special teams as well. And for a young guy, that's the first key to success, is we're looking for them to provide on the field in any way they can. All right, as you can see, some 3 very different players, very different skill sets. And like we talked about at the beginning, very excited to see these guys compete. That's the first thing that we want to see out of these guys, is what can they pick up mentally, physically, come in and do a great job in our strength program in this offseason. And, really hit the ground running, all of the phases, academically, socially. Excited to get these guys with the older players. And, we're very fortunate to have a great group joining our program here at Toledo. Thank you guys very much, and back to you, Mark and Coach Candy.
All right, Coach, let's talk about those young men that will play at the back end of the defense.
So Ross Watson, Corey Parker, both guys did a great job, I think, adding depth and value to their rooms. The tricky part in today's football is where the nickel position kind of gets fed from. So, it makes recruiting a little bit more challenging in the sense that you want to have a specific body type that if you can get it, and guys that really can tackle, guys that can play the football in the air, and then if you can help it, you want all guys to be able to play man coverage. So we benefited for some great players this year, some guys that have moved on in the secondary at all positions. So the development of these young guys will be critically important to our success in the future.
All right, Coach, you mentioned Coach Corey Parker, and of course he's responsible for the cornerbacks, and we've had some darn good ones the last few years. Let's hear about the new young men who will be part of the Midnight Blue and Gold.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Coach. Obviously, just coming back this year and just taking a peek at what our corners did last year as a group, as a unit. I think those guys did amazing. Just the level of leadership that Quinyon Mitchell and Chris McDonald had for us was simply amazing on how those guys went about their daily work and how they went about things at practice, which obviously transitioned well on game day for us to be one of the top pass defenses in the country, one of the top pass defenses in our conference, and ultimately put both of those guys in great positions to continuously play football from here. Obviously with Quinyon, the Reese's Bowl and all of that great stuff he has going on now, and the possibility of becoming a first-round draft pick is just mind-blowing. Just the same as Chris being the first team, one of the all-conference guys for us and doing a good job, and obviously now putting himself in a position to continuously play football when this deal here is over for him at Toledo. So just amazing things happening in our corners room simply because we got amazing people. And I think those guys really poured that into the younger guys in the room with Avery Smith, who did a great job for us on special teams, but also had some pretty critical snaps for us and did a good job for us, on defense. Nasir Bowers, same thing, did a great job for us on special teams, but ultimately also got an opportunity to get in some snaps versus some teams versus Eastern Michigan, had some pass breakups and things like that. And then Peyton Reasonover also mixed in there on special teams and obviously got some snaps versus some teams this year as well on defense, which created a level of confidence in us going into this offseason, seeing obviously those guys compete with newer guys like, Micah Cherry, Caden Holmes, and Jadarius Perkins, seeing all of these young guys really get in the mix, but ultimately see the great leadership by Quinyon and Chris, which really sets the standard for our room. The line of excellence doesn't move. They've been able to see it every single day, and now they've got to step to that level of excellence every single day at practice moving forward, starting in the weight room, what we got going on right now. So really excited about our corners room and the future that we have here at Toledo and how we go about our business every day. One of our signees we're really excited about is Tyler McKinstry from Westlake High School in Atlanta, Georgia. Definitely a playmaker, a guy that'll get up and press you and make plays and, deep down the field as well. But at the same time, he's a guy that really brings an element to your team with the return ability, which, our special teams coordinator, Coach Weber, loves and is going to love as time goes on when he gets opportunities to come and help us inside of our team's units. Another one of our top prospects that we brought in is Aisha Miller. Big, long, fast, athletic guy from Florida, Coconut Creek High School. Definitely can make plays on the football, but as well, get up in front of you and press you. And with his long arms, creates a lot of difficulties for receivers to get open and get around him. We just love his tenaciousness, but ultimately love his attitude, away from football. He's just such a likable kid, and he's going to do a great job around here for us. Another one of our signees, Zach Rogers, another big, long, athletic guy that can run. Obviously played for Coach Flaherty at Birmingham Groves High School in Michigan, and does a great job being a guy that can come downhill and tackle you, but at the same time make plays deep down the field as well, whether he's in zone coverage or in man coverage. Really has a great football history in his family, and his mom has did a fantastic job with him, along with his high school coaches, of just managing the level of humility, but at the same time allowing him to have a little bit of an attitude about how he goes about playing football. really excited about these prospects and these young guys, and obviously still so thankful for what those old guys have done, and those guys that still have great relationships with all of these young guys are going to help me keep these guys nice and tight, and how we go about making sure that the corners room is one of the best rooms around the country. So really excited about the future we have, and most importantly, just the days we have here at Toledo, just going into spring ball, going into these winter workouts, and really seeing how these guys progress. So thanks again so much, you guys. Thanks, Coach. Sending it back to you and Mark, and you guys have a great day.
Coach, is there another position that's more difficult to play than cornerback?
Well, we ask those guys to do an awful lot. Today's football's changed a lot with the amount of passing that goes on. There's really not any plays off for those guys, and they're the best athletes on the field. They're the guys that are from a running standpoint get taxed an awful lot. So critically important that they're at the top of their game is when it comes to perfecting their craft and skill development. And we got a good coach there that I think has done a great job with that. And we've created a little bit of history here in the defensive backfield, whether that be safety or corner here. We've had 4 or 5 draft picks out of here in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's a high standard in that room and in that defensive backfield, and those coaches have done a great job developing their guys.
Let's talk about the defensive line now and hear from defensive line coach Frank Ocamp.
How's it going? My name is Franklin Ocamp, the defensive line coach for the University of Toledo. Really excited about the work that my guys did in the 2023 season. Had to overcome some adversity, but really proud of the work that we did. Our guys were able to tie the school sack record this year, my first year with the guys, and really proud of some of the individual performances and years that the guys had. Judge Culpepper had a first-team All-MAC season. Career high 9 sacks this year, and really did a great job of leading that room, not only by example, but a leader on and off the field. Other guys that had a really great year, Andre Reagan came in career highs in his production this year, along with Darius Alexander. Most of the guys in the D-line got career highs in playing time and statistics this year, so I was really excited about the number of guys that got to get on the field and play and build some depth going into the 2024 season. Some of the younger guys as the year progressed and went on that I was really excited about the development was Malachi Davis. He was a really, really good kid on the scout team that got a little time versus Eastern Michigan, was able to get his first sack in a collegiate game. CJ Wilson took the next step as a player, as a young player, really excited about his potential in his future. Jeremiah Peters was having a great season that was tragically ended by injury, but as a young player, really excited about his development and the progress that he was making. So we got a really good group of guys that are coming back this year. I'm excited about the senior group led by Darius Alexander, Deshaun Holt, Kevon Butler, and Andre Reagan. I think those guys should really take the next step and allow Toledo to potentially be one of the better defensive lines in the country. I'm really excited about their progress and their work ethic. And really excited about the things that we can do now that we had a lot of guys that got a lot of playing time, so that we built some depth for the 2024 season and beyond. All right, we got Cameron Gwynn here from St. Francis here, one of the top defensive linemen in the state of Ohio. Really physical, quick twitch player that can play multiple positions for us. Comes from a great pedigree, great high school program, physical player, dominant the line of scrimmage. Should be a guy that can play multiple positions and affect the run and as a pass rusher. Really excited to see when he gets here what he can do for us. We got Carlos Hazelwood here from Tinley Park High School in Illinois, near the Chicago area. Really long, really athletic defensive lineman that's played multiple positions across the front. You can see his ability to be quick twitch, does great on the move in the run game and as a rusher. A violent player that plays really hard with great effort. Great family. Mom and dad have done a great job of raising him. I'm really excited about his potential as a really dominant 3 technique in the future for us. Really excited about the guys. I think the D-line, we call ourselves the death row, and those guys have really bought into that ideology and what that means. Excited about working with the guys this summer and this offseason, spring football coming up. Really excited to see Darius Alexander, Deshaun Holt, the senior class really take that next step, challenging those guys for a leadership group. I'm excited about the depth that we have. I think we have a lot of guys that can really take the next step in their career and show the potential. Really excited about the young guys we're getting in with Carlos and Cam and how they're going to continue to grow the legacy and the lineage that we've started to build here at Toledo. Really looking forward to the future of what Death Row does. Really trying to find a quarterback near you. Back to you, Coach and Mark.
You know, Coach, you talked about the offensive line, and it's an area where there's a lot of development that goes on with young players. Kind of the same thing with the defensive line, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the one thing you watch our football team last year that, that we did really well was we rotated a lot of guys on the defensive front. So a lot of guys, gained valuable experience. And, Frank brought a different approach. That was an 8-strong rotation of guys just, looks like a hockey team sometimes in there shifting lines. But a lot of guys got their feet wet. I think that provides some hope and some, a little bit more of a spark to development for young players because they really feel they can get on the field even in the event that there may be a great player at their position. So you got to keep them guys fresh, and you got to do your best job to try to disrupt the passing game and disrupt the quarterback the entire game.
Well, of course, things have changed the landscape over the last few years as far as college football is concerned. And it has to do with the transfer portal. And the Toledo Rockets, of course, have added some other players as well in that department.
Well, I think for our program, I mean, we're in a position where we're going to supplement our roster with transfers. Never look to the portal to view it as we need to save our team, which then provides you the opportunity to be really selective in who you bring in, address immediate needs and maybe you're not planning for the future, maybe so per se when it comes to using the portal. You're doing that with the good high school players that we just talked about. But I think some really good guys that have come in here at the break. You talk about Jadarius Perkins at corner. We're really excited about him. Ezekiel Blake at safety. Will provide position flexibility there to play all 5 positions. You talk about Lance Dixon at linebacker. Jacob James comes in on the offensive front, Alan Jones on the offensive front, and then Terrell Crosby's another guy that I think will provide great depth at wide receiver and is an explosive playmaker who's shown on his tape that he can play multiple positions. So all guys that address the positions of need, and ultimately at the end of the day, as was mentioned before, strengthen the culture of the locker room.
And Coach, recruiting never stops, does it?
It's like breathing, and you get up in the morning, you better be doing it or it's going to be a bad day. So it's different than what it was in the past. There's so many different ways and times throughout the course of the year that you can, add value to your team. So it makes it a harder job, and when it comes to that, but something that our staff really enjoys and takes great pride in, and that is the forefront of what it looks like when it comes to the development and what the future of your organization is. So a lot of time, a lot of stock and energy by a lot of people, and very grateful for this class and all the young men that we're bringing into the program. And, thankful they're raised by great people at home, and really excited about the future.
Coach, congratulations on all the hard work. I know the coaches put in a lot of hours.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And like I said, these guys have been, rock stars on the recruiting trail and the planning and the development of it. And, really fortunate to have a good group of people around me. So I appreciate that.
Another outstanding recruiting class for your Midnight Blue and Gold. This is truly a great group of young men. And of course, good luck next fall. As we conclude our look at the 2024 Toledo Signing Day class, I'd like to once again thank Coach Candle and his staff for providing insight on the newest players to wear the Midnight Blue and Gold. Thanks also to Brian Gasser and Stephen Matthew for their help in making this broadcast possible. And a special thanks to Heather Lutz, Katie Monger, Jacob Tracy, and the crew in the Athletic Marketing Office for producing our very first show in this beautiful new Nancy and James Lapp Creative Studio. For the entire Toledo Rocket Athletic Department, I'm Mark Beyer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at the Glass Bowl on Thursday, August 29th, when the Midnight Blue and Gold kick off its home opener against Duquesne. Until next time, remember, go Rockets!